Dear friends, welcome back to Too Abstractive. In this video, we will be discussing about transmission mode. What are transmission mode? Transmission mode is defined as the mode in which data is being transferred from one computer or device to another. The mode in which we transfer data is what we term as what transmission mode. And the mode in which we transmit information or we communicate with devices communicate with each other is of different type. It is said to be either simplex, half duplex, and full duplex. Right? So we have these three type of mode of communication: the simplex, the half duplex, and the full duplex. Now let's look at what each and every one of them. Right? The first one is the simplex mode. The simplex mode, if you look at the term, is quite seems like what simple, right? It's one direction. And what does this simply means? It simply means that what we send information from one device to another in a unidirectional format. What does that simply mean? It simply means that a device, if two devices are sending information, right? One send to the other, but cannot receive from the other. Why the other can only receive but cannot send, right? So, an example of this would be what a keyboard, right? A keyboard, it is known that a keyboard can only send information to the monitor by typing in some words and some numbers, keywords, right? But it can't receive any information. Likewise, the monitor can only display whatever the keyboard or whatever input we give to it, but cannot send any information back to the keyboard or other devices. Likewise, the speaker can only play songs, but you can use the speaker to record. It's just a one-way communication. Looking at this, you type in some words here and you send it to this, but through this point, you can't send anything back. You can only type here, so you send this direction, you receive, but not this way. So that's why it is said to be what a unidirectional communication, and because of that, it is tend to be what a simplex mode of communication. Let's look at the next mode of communication. The next mode of communication is termed as what? Half duplex, right? Half duplex simply means that we are transferring information. Like in the previous example, there is some the information we transfer from the keyboard to the monitor is in one direction, right? In half duplex, both of them can send information, right? But not at the same time. Computer A can send to computer B, right? But B has to wait until computer A is done sending before it can send its own information. That's the way it works. Computer A has to wait for computer B before it sends its own information. Is it clear? Okay. An example of this is what? A walkie-talkie. You know, a walkie-talkie just like a mobile phone, right? Once person A is calling while holding, right, the other person B has to wait until he releases before it can listen and reply, right? That's the way an half duplex work or a half duplex work per se. So let's look at the next mode of communication. But before that, we need to take note of something. What we need to take note of here is that in half duplex, since communication is both ways, we transfer from here to this, right? Or this to this. There is collision because we might be sending some information from A, but B don't know that computer A is actually sending, and therefore collision might occur. Now, when collision occur, we might lose some data, and some abortion will occur, some kind of problem will occur. That's why a method is developed, like a controlling agent, right, to control this collision rate, and it is controlled using CSMACD. We call that carrier sense multiple access with collision detection. So firstly, that if the device A is sending to B, it says if the channel is idle. Okay, B is not actually sending anything. Good, let me send. But if while transmitting, it detects that B is also trying to send, there is some collision, right? So it sends some abort signal and the process restart again, right? So let's look at the next mode of communication. The next mode of communication is full duplex. Full duplex is quite similar to half duplex, but with one difference. They can both transfer information, but simultaneously, right? And we call full duplex also as duplex, because it entails everything, right? So it allows the transfer of information in both directions simultaneously, right? So example of that is a telephone. If you're calling your friend At that same time that when you're talking to your friend, you can actually reply. There's no waiting time here. You send information, you transmit at the same time, no waiting here. So that's why this technology is much more used these days, right? We use it more. And as opposed to app duplex, full duplex is a two-way communication that does not need what? CSMA. Doesn't need a collision detection, right? So we just is a modern technology in which we use to what? Transmit what? Information. So the two most important mode that we use is the simplex mode and the what? Full duplex mode, or sometimes called as what? Duplex mode. So both of them are the modern one you use. I know any device like computer, like keyboard, like monitor, those are simplex. They communicate using simplex mode because they can only send. Right? But like the telephone, you can send while sending the person, you can be receiving at that same time. Right? So that's the way it works. So in summary, let's look at this once more. We see that the transmission mode is three, right? Simplex, the half duplex, the full duplex. The simplex mode is dealing with one direction or unidirection, while the half duplex is actually dealing with both direction but what? Not simultaneous. And lastly, full duplex is actually dealing with both direction but simultaneous. And I hope this is clear. Thank you.